We need to get this part of the wheelhouse done because it's all big hole there now. Well, to do this, we need to do this part of the deck. Well, to do this part of the deck, we need to do this. But before we do this, we need to do the beam shelf. But before we do the beam shelf, we need to do some more planks.
It's a lot of jobs you've got to do to be able to do the one job that you want to do, isn't it? So it's very cramped in the engine room. So I'm going to leave Simon to do the planks and I'm going to go and work on something else. So I'm going to start off my day painting the boat. So the area that we've done in the old fuel tank room hasn't been primed or anything yet. So time to clean it all up and paint the boat.
Right, so here's our dodgy planks here, basically go all the way down the boat there. So we've got a cleat right above us, which is going to get in the way. Here's the cleat from the top, so we've got a line going all the way out forward out there, we've got a line coming off it, going all the way out there, so big anchor in the ground. Not sure how to re-anchor the boat. Obviously this is to stop us going that way, we don't get much wind from that way. I could extend this line here to go to the cleat on the aft deck, and we could extend that one to go forward. Not sure how much line I've got, so I think we'll start with extending this one to the aft cleat and then we'll figure out what's happening with this one. Right, so that one goes all the way down there now, miles down there, so big cleat, so I figured it out, a bit dodgy. Just put it down to that one. We need to get this cleat back on sooner rather than later. We haven't got water for about a tiny bit of water by now, but for the next 2 weeks it's going to be really small tides. So we need to get this reinstated. Alright, let's get this one off. Right, so the cleat is held on here with these bolts. So basically it's got like a saddle which goes around the knee and then goes up under there. It's not the best, but it's obviously survived, hasn't it? Right, let's whiz these bolts out. Now we still haven't found 2 more of them, have we, Jem?
No, not for a reasonable price.
We found 4 in the US for like $1,200. Bit steep, innit? We need 2. So still, if you have anyone who's got one. So can you put a little picture up on the screen?
Yeah.
On the dimensions.
There.
Right, so now we've got all the boards off, start cutting away now. Right, we start to remove some planks now, so we need to get rid of all these little nails. This plank's to come all the way down to here, this one's being changed, this one's being changed. Maybe leave that one, definitely that one, but let's start with these ones here. Okay, so removed all the nail heads now, so now we need to knock them out. So done them, all them, and them.
So downstairs is all ready to paint in the old fuel tank room now. So we also need to do a second coat on the front of the wheelhouse. So there was a few little bits that weren't perfect that I wasn't happy with. So I've put a bit of filler in. So give it a quick sand and then get the paint out. We've had a lot of comments recently asking how do you keep your head so smooth?
Well, I actually use the dome shaver from Manscaped. That's how we do it. So we keep it nice and smooth. Fully waterproof, so you can basically use it anywhere you want. You can use it in the shower, you can use it
on your boat.
On your boat. So you even get a handy travel case for it as well. So if you head over to their website, you can get 20% off if you use the code SHIPHAPPENS, and it's free international shipping anywhere in the world. You can too look like me.
So be like Simon, grab life by the balls.
Yeah. Right, we're getting there now. Got these off, got them off, got them off, got one off over there. There's an outer plank here which is poorly. I think we'll leave that for the outer plank people later on. So we'll leave that now. Put on your plank on the inside. You've got some repairs to do up here. This plank's staying, a bit dodgy in the end, but it's really strong, goes all the way down, nice. It'll be hard to change that one. Yeah, right, clean up time, and then we'll do some measuring, then we'll cut some planks.
Paint your boat down.
That was cool, huh?
So that's just the first coat of fins.
Sweet.
Right, time to do the second coat on the front of the wheelhouse.
Right, well, I've got a cutting list now for my planks, so I'm going to cut those. Right, we can't even see this paint going on, can we, through the camera?
Can't you?
No, it's like white on white, it doesn't work.
Oh, quite boring then.
Yeah, it's quite boring. Right, let's go and cut the planks now. Try and get a 45° on them. Earlier on, I stood there looking into the engine room. You can see like the floor level in the engine room, and then you can see like the water level. It's amazing how much lower you are in the engine room to the water level. It's just quite. Obviously, I knew that, but it's just a visual, isn't it? You can see from the outside. Right, here's our Rocco planks that we're going to be using. So we're going to be cutting 45° on them. We're going to be making them narrower. Right, so we've cut all the angles on them. It's cut the width for them now. They're all different widths, unfortunately. First, let's go and check on Gemma. Nope, it still looks the same.
Not off.
No, to the naked eye, it's definitely white. It's just white. Made loads of mixing sticks. Right, so we get this first few in, and then we'll work out where we need to put ones going that way. Change your mind. What we're going to do is cut this one here, and we'll make a piece to go in here at the same time as we put that one in there, and then we'll figure that one out after.
Been a lot of comments lately, Si, about like how do you know your bottom of your boat's not rotten. There's the water, and there's no water. That's basically how we're going. Water outside, none inside. So that's sort of.
Yeah, we'll definitely sink, won't we?
Yeah. So yeah.
Obviously, we have a little bit of water at the bottom of the boat, but it's just a boat for you. Every boat's got a bit of water in it.
It's probably fresh water though. I know, yeah, this hasn't been pumped out for ever.
Yeah.
So that's like a big indication that the bottom of the boat hasn't got big holes in it, because it doesn't fill up when we're floating. Right, back to this bit. People think because this bit's rotten, the down below's got to be worse.
I think if you're in some sort of very tropical country, that's where they rot from the bottom, from all the worms and stuff. But we don't really have that sort of thing over here. So
yeah, it's all freshwater damage, high up.
Well, it might have some problems underneath. No one knows. You don't know until you pull it out of the water, do you? But as we said before, we'll be fixing it, won't we?
Yeah. But obviously if there is any little things to do under the water, which there will be, it's obviously not causing major problems at the minute.
No.
Otherwise we'd be flooding in with water.
Yeah.
So you know, if we were taking on serious water when we're floating, then we'd be like,
oh shit.
but we don't, and we never have for 3 years. So
No.
if there is stuff to do, and obviously we will be coming out at some point, but we're not moving from here until there is nothing else that we can do to this boat in the location that we're in.
Yeah.
So
It's got like a super duper yacht from the top.
and a big scabby old girl from the bottom. But we'll get there, and you know, if there is stuff that needs fixing, we can fix it, as we prove.
We can do it.
So yeah, right, back to the freshwater damage. Get some new planks in. I'm coming a bit over the top of the blue.
Good, yeah?
Yeah.
It's not easy working cramped on an edge like this.
Ah.
Ooh, you got some new planks out here. Are you scared?
Yeah.
That's the weakest part that you've stood on, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
But it's fine.
Okay. There's not. You've left loads of crap in the way. We were meant to stand.
Right, okay, so I need a straight edge just to cut the tops of these ones off while the glue's still wet. I've got a pen there.
Okay.
And the multi-tool. I can get the multi-tool.
Ben.
Okay, just give me a piece of wood or something. So this piece of wood now just sort of ties all the tops in just to like keep it straight-ish. Right, so we now need to cut this window out now. Well, here's something we made earlier. We made a jig. So we're going to draw around that, then we know where to cut. Right, jigsaw if you could.
That's one of the best windows you've done.
Yeah, it's because of this jigsaw. They're using the green one. Yeah, something for the bin. Yay!
You got the impactor?
I have. Right, there's the window back in. So as I said earlier, we've got a plank repair to do down there. Don't panic, we've got loads more plank repairs to do as well. Let's go and try and find a couple. It's not easy walking in this mud, you know. Big hole. So we've got some plank repairs to do here, here, loads, bit down there. Yeah, lots of it. Right, let's have a look on the port side and get over. In fact, while we're here, let's go have a look at the distance at Gemma's paint job. Check that out. She's really starting to take shape, isn't she? We're getting there. All this structural work, all the behind the scenes work we're doing. But it's just nice to be able to come here, stand back, and almost admire your work. I love looking at the deck. You can see like the camber of the deck. It shows it's right, doesn't it? Yeah, it's cool. Long way to go though. Got some plank repairs here. I think she's had a hit at some point. Someone will just put filler over it, but we found that when we painted this side ages ago. Needs more paint now. Gets beaten by the sun. We've still got to do all this work here.
So the next job after the planks is the beam shelf, and we are running really low on supplies on the boat, so we need to go back to the workshop to get some material processed. But also one of our patrons reached out and said they knew of loads of Aroca which the people were willing to donate to the project, so we need to now go and hire a van and go and drive all the way to Oxford. So we are in a top secret location in Oxford. We have been on the road since 6 o'clock this morning. We have a big van because we have come to collect this. An absolute shed load of wood. So we've just now got the big task of getting it out of the shed and into the van. It's going to be back-breaking work, I think. But also Simon's looking at cars. No, you are not getting a new car, dear. is definitely a boatload of wood.
Right, so we're in quite a predicament. There's still all this wood here, and we're thinking about leaving it behind. The only reason we're thinking about leaving it behind is it's a bit too big to go in the van, and the van will be overweight. And where are we going to store all this wood when we get back to base? We can't fit it all in, but what we have got is a load of these Iroko, it's like T&G boards. I mean, they're all a bit damaged and stuff like that. But what we can do is actually cut these into strips and use these for laminating, so we can make some nice laminated beams out of them. Look how many there is though. Hundreds.
Well, that's not all.
Some more in the van. Ooh. It's been a day since we've seen this. What we need to do is empty this because we've got to get this van back before 10 o'clock. We've got to clean it up a bit as well. So we've got some here with like a big natural curve in them. Be good for a deck beam then, wouldn't they? If you had to just cut the beam out of it. So we could do it with a handsaw.
Okay.
Right, so what we need to do now is make the piece in the fuel tank room which carries the beams. So that is actually 1.6 long by 68 by 100mm deep. So what we're going to do is start by cutting the 100mm deep, probably cut it about maybe 105, something like that, then we can point it down to 100. Alright, so we'll start with that cut.
So there's been a lot of questions lately when people have been watching the new shed build, asking where are we going to put the big panel saw. Now unfortunately we can't bring the big panel saw with us because we're just not going to have the space. So our plan is while we've still got the big workshop, to get as much of the wood processed as possible to the sizes that we need it, and then we can store it all. And obviously we are going to regret getting rid of this, but we can't keep paying the extortionate price of renting the workshop just for the panel saw. So we are looking for some sort of big track saw that we can use in the new workshop as well. So if you've got any ideas or recommendations, let us know.
In other news, it's cut beautiful. Some other Roco I've had, whenever you're cutting it, it really tightens up and it's got loads of energy in it. This doesn't seem to have any energy in it, but it has been sat there for 20 odd years, hasn't it, in that shed, so nice and dry. Right, so we ordered 1.6, let's go a bit bigger. Right, let's get this piece planed up now and see what it looks like. Come on, beautiful, isn't it? It's really nice.
Right, so the next thing we've got to make is some beam shelf. There we go, there's our next lot of beam shelf. So in the van now, we've got all the materials that we'll need for the next job. So come back next week to see all this wood getting fitted to the boat. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much for all of your support. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. And a massive thank you to Richard for sorting out this wood, because this is going to keep us going for a long time now. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you all next week.